Wow. America, get the look of the 80s for less at the Gap's Sweat Sale Days. All Gap Sport Actionwear is on sale, just $8.98 to $16.98. Gap Actionwear goes anywhere, anytime, any place. Check out the exclusive selection of styles and colors that only the Gap has. Now, $8.98 to $16.98. We know what you're looking for in actionwear. The Gap. We're out to put America into sweats.
Fall into the Gap.
Tom and Kitey now at 5. We interrupt our regular program schedule to bring you the following special report from ABC News in Washington. Here is correspondent Barry Seraphin.
Good afternoon. The Soviet news agency TASS has now acknowledged that Russian jet fighters intercepted what Moscow calls an unidentified plane that twice violated Soviet airspace. The TASS report claims the plane did not respond to warnings and continued its flight in the direction of the Sea of Japan. But U.S. officials say the Soviets shot down the plane, a South Korean jumbo jet with 269 people on board. The plane, Korean Airlines Flight 7, left New York just before midnight Tuesday night. It made a refueling stop in Anchorage, Alaska yesterday, then strayed into Soviet airspace near Sakhalin Island, close to Japan. State Department sources say the plane was apparently 100 miles north of its planned route on a course that would have taken it over the Soviet port of Vladivostok, the home port for the Russians' Pacific submarine fleet. A State Department official says the Soviets did warn the plane before shooting it down with a missile fired by a MiG-23. Secretary of State Schultz told reporters there was no evidence of any warning and expressed revulsion at what he called this appalling act. President Reagan reacted strongly, too, through a statement by White House spokesman Larry Speaks.
The President is very concerned and deeply disturbed about the loss of life aboard the Korean Airlines flight overnight. There are no circumstances that can justify the unprecedented attack on an unarmed civilian aircraft. The Soviet Union owes an explanation to the world about how and why this tragedy has occurred.
President Reagan is vacationing now in Santa Barbara, California. White House correspondent Sam Donaldson is standing by there now with more on how the White House is keeping track of what's going on. Sam?
Well, Barry, at the moment, the situation is that the White House is waiting for that full explanation from the Soviet Union. Options for retaliation against the Soviets, we are told, are under study. But nothing will be done until that explanation comes from Moscow and is analyzed. Of course, the options are rather limited. We're not going to go to war with the Soviet Union. We're not going to shoot down a Soviet airliner. This administration has made it clear it does not believe in using economic options, sanctions against the Soviet Union, certainly not grain or something like that. There is a suggestion that Aeroflot, the Soviet airliner, would be prohibited from landing in the United States. That may be one of the things the administration is considering. There's tenseness here, though, over 2 points. The seriousness of this crisis, and secondly, the question of whether Mr. Reagan will be seen as just vacationing on his ranch when, in fact, administration aides insist that he is on top of it, that he has all the modern communications up there that he has at the White House, and that he can, in fact, make decisions, even though he's out here, as his spokesman said today, horseback riding and chopping wood.
In short, Sam, he's not rushing back to Washington.
They say he's not going to go back to Washington, but if the crisis develops, I imagine they will rethink that as the hours go by, Barry.
All right. Thanks very much, Sam. The most complete accounting of what happened to that Korean plane has come today from the State Department. Ann Garrels is there with the latest from officials at the State Department. Ann?
Barry, officials here are in shock, asking themselves why the Soviets would have done this. As you noted, Secretary of State Schultz has said the U.S. has responded with revulsion. Former President Jimmy Carter here at the State Department agreed.
The Soviet action in shooting down an unarmed and defenseless and clearly identifiable civilian airplane is inexcusable. There is no provocation that I can imagine that would warrant such an action. It's regrettable and inexcusable on the part of the Soviets.
Last week, give the U.S. no information, and it wasn't until the early hours of this morning, hours after the Korean airliner was down, that the U.S. got to know just what had happened. And today, Secretary of State Schultz gave a detailed chronology, apparently obtained through U.S. intelligence sources, of what happened. He explained how the Soviet airliner tracked the Korean aircraft for over 2 hours before the Soviet pilot was ordered to fire. The pilot reported he hit the target, the aircraft dropped 5,000 meters, and then disappeared. Apparently, there are signs of debris, kerosene, which indicate the plane fell into the water near the island of Sakhalin. But there's no evidence that any of the 269 passengers, 30 of whom apparently are Americans, survived. Schultz said the incident is inexcusable because the Soviet pilot had the Korean aircraft in visual contact for over 14 minutes and could tell it was a commercial airplane with carrying no missiles. And apparently it couldn't be a mistake, according to other officials, because the Soviets have a very centralized command over their fighters. Back to you, Barry.
Thank you, Ann. If one word could sum up congressional reaction today, that word would be outrage. More on that from Britt Hume on Capitol Hill.
Although Congress is in recess, quite a few members were here today, including a number of Democratic senators just back from a visit to Moscow, full of high hopes for an arms control agreement. Today, though, those senators and others found themselves denouncing the Soviet Union, and in the strongest possible terms.
I think the only way it can be described is cold-blooded murder.
Inexplicable, revulsive, repulsive, highly offensive, and inexcusable.
The action of the Soviet Union in shooting down a civilian transport is an outrageous, stupid act.
Intolerable, inhuman, despicable, uncivilized, and barbaric.
I am left with a vision of ruthless brutality and contempt for the opinion of mankind.
Some senators did call for the cancellation of the grain sale agreement recently negotiated with the Soviet Union, Senator Byrd of West Virginia, the minority leader, being one of them, but there was widespread disagreement with that idea. There was, however, considerable agreement about one thing, that this incident has seriously harmed the cause of an arms control agreement with the Soviets. Barry?
Thank you, Britt. So, once again, 269 people, as many as 30 of them Americans, have been lost in the downing of a Korean Airlines jumbo jet, which the U.S. says was fired on by the Soviet Union. The Russians have not acknowledged shooting down that plane. ABC will continue to provide updates as events warrant throughout the afternoon. And on World News Tonight, a complete report, including a dramatic minute-by-minute account of events that led to the shooting down of the Korean airliner by John McWethy, the first reporter to confirm that the plane had been shot down by Soviet arms. This is Mary Seraphin, ABC News in Washington.
This special report has come to you from ABC News in Washington. We now resume our regular program schedule.
We now rejoin the Edge of Night, already in progress.
We'll pass that thanks on down the line. A lot of officers were involved.
And this is the office area, Mrs. Hedgepeth.
Oh, call me Margot. I have loved this building from the moment I laid eyes on it.
Yes, you were in here last week visiting Dr. Kavanaugh.
You remember it? Oh, but then I guess that's your job. Yes, I am a patient of Dr. Kavanaugh's. I had a little accident, nothing serious. I remembered you, too.
As you'll see, the rental agreement provides for this office plus the small reception area outside.
Well, we won't think of it as small. We'll think of it as cozy.
What business did you say you were in?
I run a video dating service with my husband. We call it Datamates.
Do you have much success?
Me personally?
No, I meant your service.
Well, Mr. Hext, there are thousands of men out there for a woman with the right attitude and plenty of time to enjoy each and every one of them.
Right, raise your right hand, please. Do you, John Emerson, promise to obey and uphold the Constitution of the United States, its bylaws, and the bylaws of the city of Monticello?
I do.
And do you willingly and with good conscience agree to take on the responsibility of deputized civilian and all that that entails in this city on this day and from this day forth?
I do.
And as Chief of Police and in front of witness, I hereby declare you to be an officially deputized member of the Monticello Police Department. Good luck.
Yes, do you have anything maybe a little cozier?
You mean less expensive?
Yeah, that is another way to word it.
Well, Mrs. Hedgepeth, the ISIS building is prime real estate. The average rental in the city is far above what we're asking.
I know, but love doesn't always pay the rent. And that will have to go.
Oh, I'm sorry, but the rental agreement provides that there be a relief of ISIS in every office.
Why?
I guess the building owners just want the publicity.
Well, our decor was going to be along the classical lines also, but we were thinking of more Greek, less clothes, you know.
This is a dating service you operate, Mrs. Hedgepeth.
Oh, yes. It's just that we're enlightened. All right. I guess I can decorate around the Egyptian lady, although fertility is not exactly what we had in mind.
I assume then that you're interested in the office, I mean.
Oh, yes. It'll do just fine.
Good morning.
Wow, good morning, and aren't we in a good mood today?
And why not?
And why not, indeed?
I was glad I served the turn.
Another supposedly happy person.
Well, that I am. Mail call?
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, are you going to speak voluntarily, or do we have to issue a subpoena?
You remember that green-eyed receptionist that used to work here, Mary Jane?
How could I forget her? She's the one that accused you of spying on her.
And then I stuck my nose in where it didn't belong.
That's her. Well, she called me up yesterday out of the blue to apologize for being rude to me.
Well, I guess that single rose paid off after all.
She said she didn't know what got into her and that she didn't mean anything by it.
Well, of course, you forgave her.
Of course, and I invited her out to dinner tonight.
And that's why you're singing. She accepted.
Happy ending. Or should I say beginning?
I had a good time last night.
Yeah, so did I. You know, Miles' story about Cliff's contagious paranoia theory was bizarre, wasn't
Miles?
it? Yeah.
Miles, I had the funny stories last night.
You did?
And who drove? It wasn't Miles who drove you home last night, was it?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't Miles who kissed you goodnight at the front door last night, was it?
That's true.
Now look, I like Miles as well as the next guy, but I'm glad we had a little chance to be alone. I never realized how funny you were. You are funny.
Funny? I tell you my life story and you say I'm funny?
Giving a parking ticket to the mayor of New York City is funny.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. He was in a no-standing zone. You know, I could have had him towed.
I'm sure you would have if somebody hadn't stolen your police radio. I don't believe you let that happen. You are
Oh, well, okay, thank you. You know, you might have noticed sooner. I guess there isn't much chance for humor around here when your supervising officer is such a hard nose.
such a hard nose. Hello,
I just stopped by to congratulate you on clearing the books on Nicole's, Gantz, and E.J. Pond's homicides, but I can see you've already begun celebrating.
Yes, well, thanks. You want to come out, Chris? I will pass that thanks on down the line. A lot of officers were involved.
It was good work, Detective.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Now, what about Davy Oakes? Any idea why he attacked me?
Well, Niall says the boy has some emotional problems. He's going to suggest a psychiatrist.
Fine, but we should have a court-appointed one, too.
All right, I'll see to that.
You've discovered nothing else?
No, other than Oakes seems to have a amazingly strong hatred for your entire political party.
What about his parents?
Oh, they have no idea where this hostility comes from. And we can't find any personal connection.
It's baffling.
It sure is.
Mrs. Oakes, this is Dr. Kavanaugh.
Doctor, I thought we'd said all we had to.
If I could just stop by there for a few minutes and talk to you.
I have heard enough.
Mrs. Oakes, if you care at all about your son.
Yeah, of course I do. I love Davy.
Well, then please hear me out. I'm not asking you to take my advice. I'm just asking you to listen to it.
I can't.
What is stopping you?
Dr. Kavanaugh.
Mrs. Oakes, this is your son that we're talking about. Now, he needs our help, believe me.
I'll be home this afternoon.
Thank you.
Dad, when I grow up, will I be as strong as you?
Well, you already are, because boys' Fruit of the Loom underwear is made just as tough as we are.
Do I have the
Well, sure, for super durability.
Durability?
That means it lasts wash after wash. When you're from Fruit of the Loom, the only thing about being small is,
I have a smaller price.
Boys cotton briefs with super band waistband, only $1.57 each.
Cliniment is the smoker's toothpaste. It blasts away at tar and film and keeps them away without harming your enamel. And it freshens your breath with natural mint. But if you drink coffee or tea, you also need Cliniment every day. There's a test card in each Cliniment box. Compare it to your smile. Brush for 10 days, then compare it again. Cliniment will have you smiling brighter, or we'll refund your money. We're that sure it works.
Raven, a lady does not sit at her desk in that fashion.
Hello. Sound like you're in a good mood.
And with good reason. WMON has been cleared of all blame in the Peter Nevins fiasco.
Wonderful.
It is indeed. But now begins the difficult task of rebuilding.
Well, don't make it sound like drudgery. You know you'll love it.
Well, it's not going to be easy to regain the public's faith in WMON. A reputation is a hard thing to repair.
But you're looking forward to the challenge.
Yes, I am.
So you're not sorry that you didn't sell the station?
Not for a moment.
Scully Whitney, right on time. Hello, baby, I miss you. Oh, he did? Oh, well, that's okay, but hurry. Yes, I'm being a good girl. Okay, I love you, I love you. Geraldine's here just a second. Say hello to him.
Skylar, dear, how are you? Yes, I'm behaving myself, too.
Hang up.
Well, be careful, Skylar, dear. What was that all about?
Well, if you don't talk over a minute, it's cheaper.
What did he have to say?
Unfortunately, Spencer left Malagua 2 weeks before he arrived.
Oh, no.
But he's still trying to pick up his trail.
Raven, you and Skylar actually expect to see that $40 million in diamonds again?
Yes, we certainly do. We have to.
Mrs. Oakes, your son is in serious need of psychiatric care.
Please, don't start in.
Don't you understand? A psychiatrist's testimony could help Davy's case when he goes to trial. I don't understand why you refuse to cooperate.
Because you are working with the police to see that he is successfully prosecuted and convicted.
Please, Mrs. Oakes, you came to see me.
But I can't trust you.
You asked me to help your son, Davy. That is all I am trying to do. I promise you that.
But you are in league with the police.
Look, whoever told you that I am trying to hurt Davy has lied to you. I want you to believe that.
Oh, God. I don't know what to believe.
For Davy's sake, you better believe me.
Mrs. Whitney? Geraldine, darling. Dora, how delightful to see you again.
Well, don't tell me you've hired a private detective, too.
Have I what?
Mrs. Whitney here told me the most remarkable things about my diamond ring without even seeing it.
Oh, did she?
Oh, what can I do for you, Mrs. Coburn?
Well, I'm only here but for a minute.
Good.
But I would like to find out whether you found out anything.
Yes, I have already found out the family of Grace Thomas is beyond reproach. However, I want to do a little more checking, make sure that she's just the right girl for Malcolm, too.
I must say, you do sound as if you're on top of everything.
Oh, I certainly am. I'll be in touch with you.
Mrs. Whitney, goodbye, Geraldine. We must have lunch together soon.
I'd love that. Bye.
Don't say a word.
Raven, how could you? What you're doing is illegal and immoral. Taking Dora's money, pretending to help her. That woman is a friend of mine.
Well, I am helping her. I've checked all the banks, I've looked in all the social registers, and I'm not giving up this investigation.
Why are you doing this?
For $250 a day plus expenses.
Do you bake with margarine? Then you should know about new Butter Flavor Crisco. Butter Flavor Crisco makes cakes rise higher. You can see the difference. But more important, Butter Flavor Crisco gives baked foods more butter flavor than margarine. A flavor so rich, there's only one word for it.
Butter.
Yeah, that's our word for it. New Butter Flavor Crisco makes baking with margarine obsolete. Now there are 2 great Criscos.
Who puts the U in
shampoo. Prel does That's Who with special silkeners and hair that feels soft and silky after. Ooh.
Yeah, Prel puts the U in shampoo.
Remember your first real bike? Balloon tires, wicker basket, and 2 speeds, go and stop. Not the best way to show off new cotton pedal pushers, but Mom cleaned them with cheer and hot water. Today, more clothes get warm or cold water, so today's cheer has a temperature-sensitive formula that works like crazy in lower temperatures. Muddy warm-ups? Today's cheer in warm water. Hot fudge on a cold water jersey? Watch. Could your detergent clean like this in cold or this in warm? Cheer's changed with the times. So is biking. Oh, people may still splash me. But first, they gotta catch me.
Temperature-sensitive cheer for today's lower temperatures.
Say, baby, what's a man got to do to dance with the best-looking girl in this place, huh? Come up with a better line than that one. Yeah? Huh?
Well, I'm dancing with Robbie.
No, hey, it's okay.
Really?
Sure, it's no problem. Go ahead. Sit down. Listen, I brought you something.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Like you, baby. Remember last time I gave you flowers when you came to my place and we cooked dinner? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
So listen, I got a postcard today from Florida.
Johnny, the beach is beautiful, and there are many rich fish in the sea. Dick Edgar? Who's Dick Edgar?
Check out the initials, look. D.E.
I understand your father's up to his old tricks.
You know what they say, you can't teach an old dog, you know? I pity the state of Florida, you know what I mean?
If you guys aren't going to be needing me, I'm going to call it a day.
Well, seeing as you're so anxious, I guess you can go.
I have a date with the green-eyed receptionist. Or haven't I told you?
Oh, about a half a dozen times. Why don't you go on? Give my love to Mary Jane.
I'll give her mine first. Good night.
Just love young love. What have I done now?
Cliff, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you've been looking at me all afternoon as if I was going to steal your law books or something.
You're crazy. You've been watching me all day.
What are you talking about?
You're just waiting for me to make a mistake, aren't you?
Where's the happy-go-lucky Dee Dee Bannister who was here this morning, huh? What, you and Calvin have a fight while I was out?
My move did not depend on whether or not Calvin and I are getting along. Besides, my personal life is none of your damn business.
Okay, I see it's the old clock on the wall says it's time for Cliff Nelson to go. I'm working a video disco tonight, Mitzi. Why don't you come along? Hmm? Help you unwind.
Mr. Smith. Okay, we can talk now. Come here. These little things, can you trace them?
Well, these serial numbers should tell us a tale or two.
So you can tell who planted them?
Just the person who originally purchased them from the manufacturer, maybe.
Well, it can't be that easy.
Right. He might only be a wholesaler.
Oh, well, he should have a list of all the names of people who bought them, though, right?
Records like that on these little gadgets are hard to get.
Well, you can try, can't you?
Boys are about to see how a Dixie plate beats a plain uncoated plate. Dixie's prettier, but that's not it. Dixie's stronger, but that's not it. Dixie has matching bowls and cups, but that's not it. Watch. Dixie's plastic coated. It won't soak through. The plain plate?
Ew! Guess that was it.
Dixie Livingware with plastic coating. Strong, soak-proof, pretty, practical. If it isn't Dixie, it just won't do.
When I decided to lose weight, I got lots of advice. But when I heard that more pharmacists recommend Dexatrim, that's the advice I followed. Pharmacists recommend the Dexatrim diet plan because it works. Dexatrim really helps curb your appetite, so you eat less and lose weight. It's proven in 7 years of clinical testing. Those pharmacists are right. Dexatrim helped me lose weight, and I feel great.
Lose weight with Dexatrim. More pharmacists recommend it than any other weight loss product.
On Ryan's Hope.
I really appreciate you being so nice to me. I'm awfully glad I'm here.
Oh, I am too. Maggie's scheming continues. Ryan's Hope, weekdays.
Gone. Tilex. It gets mildew stains before they get to you.
Tonight, visit the folks behind famous cartoon characters like Bugs Bunny, the Roadrunner, and Elmer Fudd. Plus, flash dancing and the truth about those legendary California girls on Eye on Hollywood. Then, following Too Close for Comfort, Reggie feels like a crumb when the hot new cookie in the office turns out to be his daughter on Reggie, followed by It Takes Two. Tonight on ABC.
Tonight, Geraldo Rivera shows you the power, parties, and passionate rivalry of the America's Cup. Plus the competition for college. It's getting vicious by age 4. And a man who lived the honky-tonk blues, George Jones, back on the road again. Watch 2020 tonight.
You can taste how pure Deer Park is because it's 100% pure mountain spring water and nothing else but.
Deer Park, that's good water.
And coming up on Channel 7's Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock this afternoon, Soviet fighters apparently shoot down an unarmed Korean jetliner from the sky, killing 269 people on board, including New Yorkers and a member of the U.S. Congress. As the crisis continues, we have the latest from Santa Barbara, where the president is. We have a live report from Capitol Hill in Washington. We'll hear from relatives and friends of the passengers keeping a grim vigil tonight. And we'll have...
Guess what you're having?
If it was the good stuff, she'd say so.
It's 9 Live.
It is the good stuff.
9 Lives is nutritious food like diced meat and tasty vegetables in our savory stew.
Savory stew? Stupendous.
9 Lives, the unique recipes cats can't resist.
9 Lives. Everything else is just cat food.
This is Sharon. She used to be married to Jack. Now she's married to Neil. Ah, but Jack's still in the picture. He lives with his mother across the streets.
You probably haven't had this much fun since they invented hairspray for men. Maybe you should start spraying your hair to give you something to do nights.
Ken Howard, Carlene Watkins, Bert Convey, and Jane Meadows. It's Not Easy premieres Thursday, September 29th.
That special feeling on ABC.
What eye-opening new shows can you look for this fall? Inquiring minds want to know.
I want to know.
Will computer aces, famous faces, and chimps in high places affect your viewing? A National Enquirer Fall TV preview tells you. How will new shows dress up old favorites? What special ways will the networks entertain you?
It's in the Enquirer.
What blockbuster movies will blast into your living room? Find out in the Enquirer. Over 100 features for people with inquiring minds.
Like me.
It's
It's here, the spectacular grand opening of 5 new stores, now 25 locations. We've got a carnival of fun fashion to wear back to school. Now, through Labor Day, we put the original shrink-to-fit Levi's 501 blue jeans for guys and gals on sale at the incredibly low price of $12.99. We're one of the largest sellers of Levi's in the world and carry more sizes than most other stores. Levi's 501 blue jeans, only $12.99 through Labor Day during our spectacular grand opening sale.
Same shoe, same maker. Shouldn't you buy it at standard shoe stores? Same shoe, same maker. Standard shoe stores, the price cutters.
Soviet shoot-down airliner. Updates at 4, 5, and 6.
Turn your morning around and meet the men who make it happen. The Donovan brothers. Mike, strong and sexy. Doug, full of charm. Curtis, rich and spoiled. He gets everything he wants. Roger, married to one woman, in love with another. The romantic, captivating, passionate, impulsive, tempting, and clever. Men of loving. They're all yours. Weekdays,